Very cool. Derek Santhi, Review Nation. Good to speak with you. Hope you're having a good day.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. What about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Everything is going good. I'm about to walk the dog after this interview, so
Oh.
we're gonna get through here, but make sure we talk about Prime Target.
Mm.
Can we talk about the progression of the show so far, and more importantly, I was really looking forward to Tunnel and physicality and all that kind of coming together. So, were you looking forward to that part too as you kind of like moved along with this storyline?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I feel like the scripts were always changing in the best way possible, because they were still, for the first season, still figuring out what it is that we're telling and what's the story. And obviously, it's a conspiracy and a thriller. And I feel like sometimes the contents of what you're you know like showcasing or exploring somehow happens on the back end as well. So on the back end of like the receiving end of like having the scripts or the progress of the show, every day was a surprise. What are we doing? So I loved it, and and yeah, I don't know if I
Well,
answered your question fully, but yeah.
no, for sure. Well, it's fun too. Like I can just imagine because of course you're in front of computers, you're dealing with numbers.
Mm.
So like if someone out there going make math interesting, just yelling from the side, like be more look at the computer more intense. Like what is the thought process of how that
Were
works?
were you there? Because that's exactly what happened. I feel like I was just talking about this earlier with someone too, but it was like I had to look up. I'm like, how do people act with computers and type? It was completely out of my like zone, especially because sometimes, you would have something moving on the screen and would kind of simulate the process of what you're trying to, get into or unlock. And sometimes, like off on the side, the person who was controlling it, something would stall or mess up. And then I would just hear the guy on the side be like, shit, and I'd be like, but still got to act it out. But so that was different. And I was also like trying to find like, representations of that like on, screen before. So looking at like, I think Mr. Robot, he's always on his computer,
Right.
and just different things like that. But yeah, it was definitely a process, but I loved it. You learn something new on each thing. So.
Right. Well, we know it's intense because you don't look at your phone every 5 minutes like most people do, automatically just kind of picking it up all the time too. So we know something's happening.
Right.
Speaking of something happening, we are very much waiting for, and I don't know if we could say anything about Jane versus Taylah, like that kind of
Ooh.
like coming of kind of thing too. Like, what is your thought process on both of them on the different sides?
Ooh, I mean, it's two sides of a different coin. I can't speak on Jane's side much, and I'm probably not going to speak on Taylor's, but there's going to be more. Whatever you're thinking about that may happen probably will happen. So you'll have that catharsis at some point.
And I guess, can you tell us a little bit about how we're going to end out? People want a bang, hopefully not a nuclear one, but they want a bang. So, how do you feel like if, I'm sure family and friends have been asking, what's the line you're giving them without giving anything away?
I don't give one. I feel like I was just talking to my dad yesterday. He was like, "So what's going to happen?" He was like, I thought you were the baddie. And I was like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know, Pop." He's like, "I didn't raise a baddie." Like it was super funny. But yeah, I don't know. I think the ending is, just like every other episode has been. It ends with you like
With more questions and yeah, and
more
I
questions.
guess I should ask too, like there's no way we're done with twists or people coming out of the shadows. I mean, it
Mhm.
seems like there's just like another person ready to go, like it's just a conveyor belt of like, oh no, you thought you knew but you don't know. So is that
Exactly.
something that when you first saw this and you started talking to the showrunners and everything, what did they promise you when it came to the storyline? Did you want to read to the end yourself with the first season? I mean, how did it
Well,
work out when you first started?
it's funny because like for me, I like being as unaware as possible because I feel like if you know too much, it'll inform like choices of your character in a way. So I love like everything kind of being a surprise. I'm like, oh, don't tell me. Like the last episode is out, don't tell me what happens. Like I'll just figure it out as we shoot, you know, and that kind of keeps the entire thing exciting and also just like support that, you know, conspiracy or, you know, thriller kind of aspect, again, like on the back end as well. But I think even towards the, you know, first like being a part of the project, it was just their willingness to be collaborative and to be excited about doing something new and different. And I think every episode was exactly that. It was them delivering something that we didn't expect, you know? So
Very
just,
cool.
yeah, to be a part of that world and to be invited into it was just really, really gratifying.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to talk about this with everybody, and I hope everyone in your world is happy and healthy. Be good.
Oh, inshallah. Thank you, bro.